In a world filled with noise, unpredictability, and pressure, your greatest weapon isn't your education, your background, or even your resources. Your greatest weapon is your mind, and how well you train it to remain calm when everything around you isn't. Anyone can appear confident when things are going smoothly, but true mental strength is measured in chaos. It's when things go wrong that your habits, your thinking, and your emotional discipline are put to the test. Calm isn't natural, it's trained. And once you train your mind to stay composed, clear, and focused, you become unshakable. Staying calm doesn't mean you ignore problems or pretend things are perfect. It means you don't let external chaos dictate your internal state. The first step toward mastering any situation, especially chaos, is awareness. In the midst of turmoil, the natural instinct is often to react, to be swept away by emotions, or to fixate on the overwhelming circumstances. But in order to truly take control of your mind and your responses, you must first recognize what's happening. Without awareness, you can't manage your reactions. You can't even begin to train yourself to stay calm. It's like trying to steer a car without first looking at the road ahead. When you begin your day with a sense of mindfulness and intention, you start creating an awareness buffer. This buffer allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions before they dictate your actions. It's in those early moments when you check in with yourself and notice your thoughts that you decide whether to be a passive passenger or an active participant in your life. Recognizing that a chaotic situation is triggering you is the first sign of control. It's the moment you take ownership of your response rather than letting the chaos own you. One of the key elements of awareness is understanding your own emotional triggers. Every individual has specific things that set them off: stress, uncertainty, deadlines, unexpected disruptions, and identifying these triggers puts you in a position to manage them consciously by paying attention to when you start feeling tense, anxious, or reactive. You begin to see patterns. This awareness doesn't just apply to your emotions, it also extends to your thoughts. Are you thinking in worst-case scenarios? Are you assuming that everything is falling apart? When you recognize these thoughts, you can challenge them instead of blindly following them into panic. Being aware of the present moment is another crucial part of awareness. Often in chaotic situations, the mind races into the past or future, regretting past mistakes or fearing future consequences. But true calm is found when you focus on the present. Awareness helps you anchor yourself in the here and now. It's the practice of noticing what is happening around you without attaching judgments or emotions to it. By focusing on the present moment, you can neutralize the emotional charge that chaos often brings. You can evaluate the situation with clarity instead of reacting impulsively. Once you've recognized the chaos and your emotional triggers, the next layer of awareness is to examine your responses. Do you immediately get defensive? Do you shut down or become overwhelmed? Or do you respond with a sense of calm and clarity? Awareness doesn't just help you understand what's happening around you, it also helps you understand how you respond. When you notice your reactions, you can start shifting them. If your instinct is to panic, you can retrain your mind to breathe, think, and act deliberately instead. With awareness, you gain the power to choose how you show up in every moment. Finally, awareness creates the space for proactive action. It's not just about reacting to what's happening right now, it's about preparing for what might come next. When you are aware of your internal landscape, you can anticipate how future challenges may affect you. If you know that certain situations lead to stress, you can implement strategies beforehand to manage your emotions. Awareness is the foundation of anticipation. It's the ability to see, feel, and understand your patterns so that you can take purposeful steps to remain in control, even when life throws you into chaos. One of the most powerful shifts you can make in times of chaos is learning to focus only on what you can control. When everything seems to be unraveling around you, it's easy to get caught up in a spiral of anxiety, trying to fix everything all at once. However, the more you try to control the uncontrollable, the more overwhelmed you become. The secret to staying calm in chaos is recognizing that there are always elements within your reach, things you can directly influence. Once you focus on those, you regain a sense of power and direction. When chaos hits, our minds tend to expand the scope of the problem, making everything seem urgent and important. We may find ourselves stressing over things outside our influence, things like how others behave, events that we can't change, or outcomes that are out of our hands. The moment we shift our focus to what is within our control, our actions, our responses, our decisions, we begin to regain mental clarity. This simple act of redirecting your energy creates a sense of stability because you no longer feel like you're at the mercy of forces beyond your control. You're back in the driver's seat. Focus is a powerful tool in turbulent times. When you are clear about what you can control, you begin to make better decisions. Instead of overanalyzing or getting stuck in endless what-ifs, you can concentrate on taking purposeful steps forward. For example, if a project is delayed due to circumstances outside your control, you can focus on aspects like improving your own work, communicating effectively with the team, or streamlining the process. These are things within your influence that can move the situation toward a resolution, while things like blaming external factors will only drain your energy and time. Another powerful aspect of focusing on what you can influence is that it allows you to take strategic action. In moments of chaos, there's often a tendency to rush in without thinking, reacting emotionally or impulsively. But by narrowing your attention to what you can influence, you start making deliberate decisions. You don't waste time spinning your wheels on things that won't make a difference. You make smarter moves driven by purpose rather than panic. This calm, focused action helps you navigate even the most turbulent times with grace. Learning to focus on what you can control also provides a sense of personal responsibility. It's easy to slip into a victim mindset when chaos erupts. The everything is falling apart mentality can make you feel helpless and at the mercy of external events. However, by concentrating on what is within your realm of influence, you reclaim your power. You become solution-oriented, looking for ways to move forward rather than staying stuck in frustration. This shift from victim to empowered creator is crucial for maintaining calm because it prevents you from feeling paralyzed by the unknown. Furthermore, when you focus only on what you can influence, you reduce mental clutter and increase your mental resilience. There's a psychological benefit to simplicity. By focusing on a few key actions, you create a mental space that allows you to think clearly and calmly. You reduce the overwhelm of having too many tasks on your plate, and you give yourself the chance to approach challenges with creativity and resourcefulness. Your mind is no longer weighed down by everything you can't change. It is free to act decisively on what you can. In moments of chaos, our body's natural response is often to become tense, shallow, and erratic in our breathing. The body is in fight or flight mode, and our breath reflects this: fast, short, and disconnected. However, this automatic response can escalate feelings of stress and panic, clouding our judgment and making it harder to think clearly. The key to regaining control is to consciously shift your breathing pattern. By learning to use your breath as an anchor, you can immediately calm your mind and bring your body back into a state of balance. Breathing is one of the most immediate tools available to us in chaotic situations, yet it is often overlooked. The moment you become aware of your breath, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body that helps you relax. By slowing your breath and taking deep intentional inhales and exhales, you send a signal to your brain that everything is okay. This shift in breathing patterns directly impacts your mental state, reducing the physiological signs of stress and shifting your focus from panic to control. It's a simple but powerful way to anchor yourself in the present moment. When you breathe deeply, you stimulate the vagus nerve, which is responsible for regulating the body's stress response. By consciously engaging with this nerve, through slow deep breathing, you can reduce cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and increase your heart rate variability, a key marker of resilience and calm. This means that the more you practice controlled breathing, the more you train your body and mind to handle stress efficiently. In moments of chaos, instead of feeling overwhelmed, your body learns to respond with calm and clarity, allowing you to think and act from a place of strength. In addition to calming your body, focused breathing creates space between stimulus and response. Often when chaos strikes, our knee-jerk reaction is to act impulsively. We may snap, react emotionally, or rush decisions without fully thinking them through. By taking a moment to breathe, you create that space, the critical pause between stimulus and reaction. During this pause, you can assess the situation more logically, choose your words carefully, and make decisions that are aligned with your goals, not driven by fear or stress. Breathing exercises also provide a powerful mental reset. When your mind is racing with anxiety or overthinking, focusing on your breath serves as a simple, effective way to bring your mind back to a state of calm. Techniques like box breathing, inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds, and holding again for 4 seconds, or diaphragmatic breathing help you focus entirely on the present moment. As you become more practiced in these techniques, your mind begins to associate slow, controlled breathing with calm and clarity, making it easier to stay centered even in stressful situations. Lastly, breathwork doesn't just calm you in the present, it strengthens your mental resilience over time. The more you practice using your breath as an anchor, the better your body and mind become at handling pressure. When faced with chaos, you instinctively reach for your breath as a tool to regain focus. The more you use breathing as a tool in everyday stressful situations, the more equipped you become to handle bigger challenges without losing composure. It becomes an automatic skill that ensures you remain in control, no matter the external circumstances. In the midst of chaos, emotions can run high, clouding our judgment and impairing our ability to make sound decisions. When we're emotionally charged, we tend to act impulsively, guided by our immediate feelings rather than clear, rational thinking. The key to staying calm in these situations is to train yourself to detach emotion from decision-making. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, but rather creating space between emotional reactions and the decisions that follow. By learning to recognize when emotions are influencing your choices, you can take control and make more objective, calculated decisions. One of the first steps in detaching emotion from decision-making is recognizing when you are emotionally triggered. In chaotic situations, it's easy to feel angry, frustrated, or anxious, and those emotions can drive decisions that may not align with your long-term goals. By becoming aware of your emotional state, you can pause and assess whether your feelings are influencing your thoughts. This awareness gives you the power to step back and take a moment to recalibrate before taking action. The ability to recognize the emotional undercurrent is the first step in separating it from the decision at hand. Another critical aspect of detaching emotion from decision-making is slowing down the decision process. In a chaotic environment, we often feel the pressure to make quick decisions, fearing that time is running out or that things are spiraling beyond our control. But rushing to make decisions based on emotional reactions can often lead to poor outcomes. By slowing down and allowing yourself time to process the situation, you can allow logic to take the lead instead of letting emotion dominate. Even taking a few moments to breathe, step back, or mentally walk through the decision can help you clear your mind and act with intention. It's also important to adopt a mindset of curiosity rather than one of fear or defensiveness. When chaos arises, it's easy to slip into a reactive mindset where every issue feels like a personal threat or a problem to be solved immediately. However, shifting your perspective to one of curiosity allows you to view challenges objectively. Instead of seeing a situation as something that triggers stress or anxiety, you can ask questions: what is this really about? What is the best solution? What's the most effective course of action? By approaching the problem with curiosity rather than emotion, you open up space for clearer, more rational decision-making. Learning to detach emotion from decision-making also requires developing emotional resilience. This is the ability to feel emotions without letting them dictate your behavior. Emotional resilience is cultivated by practice, by regularly confronting challenging situations and learning to stay composed even when feelings are intense. When you face stress or adversity, your ability to stay emotionally balanced increases with time. It becomes easier to make decisions that are not driven by panic or fear, but by a calm assessment of the facts. Emotional resilience doesn't mean you don't feel, it means you feel, but you don't let those feelings control your actions. Lastly, practicing this emotional detachment doesn't just improve your decision-making in chaotic situations, it also builds trust in your ability to manage difficult circumstances. When you consistently make decisions from a place of calm and rationality, others begin to notice your stability, which enhances your leadership abilities. More importantly, you develop a sense of self-confidence. You learn that no matter what happens around you, you have the mental strength to stay grounded and make decisions that serve your best interests. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and you approach all challenges with a clear, calm mindset, knowing that your decisions are guided by logic, not emotional turbulence. One of the most powerful techniques for staying calm in chaos is the practice of mental rehearsal. This technique is often used by athletes, performers, and high achievers to improve their performance under pressure. By mentally rehearsing how you want to respond in stressful situations, you prepare your mind to remain calm, focused, and decisive when the real pressure hits. The mind cannot differentiate between a vivid mental image and reality, so by visualizing yourself navigating chaos with composure, you're essentially training your brain to act as if you've already mastered the situation. The first step in mental rehearsal is to identify specific situations that tend to trigger stress or panic in your life. Maybe it's a high-stakes meeting, a sudden crisis, or a confrontation with a difficult person. Once you've identified these moments, visualize them in detail. Picture the environment, the people involved, the emotions you might feel. However, the key is to mentally rehearse your response, not the stress itself. Imagine yourself staying composed, breathing deeply, and responding calmly. See yourself moving through the situation with clarity and confidence, handling challenges with ease. This mental rehearsal creates a muscle memory for your mind, which becomes activated when similar situations arise in real life. One of the reasons mental rehearsal works so well is that it primes your subconscious mind for success. Your subconscious mind is responsible for many of your automatic responses, and it's driven by the patterns and habits you consistently reinforce. By mentally rehearsing calm responses, you strengthen neural pathways that help you stay composed in stressful situations. Over time, these rehearsed behaviors become more natural, and you begin to instinctively remain calm under pressure without having to consciously think about it. This doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, it becomes a powerful tool in your emotional toolkit. In addition to visualization, you can use positive affirmations during your mental rehearsal. As you envision yourself handling chaos with composure, repeat affirmations such as, "I remain calm and focused under pressure," or "I am in control of my emotions." These affirmations help reinforce your belief that you can handle any situation with clarity. This combination of visualization and affirmation strengthens both your emotional resilience and your confidence in your ability to stay calm. It reminds your brain that you are capable, regardless of external chaos. To further enhance your mental rehearsal, practice it regularly, ideally daily. Just as athletes train their bodies to perform at their best, you can train your mind to respond with calm in any scenario. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing potential stressful situations and practicing your calm responses. This doesn't require a lot of time, just a few moments of quiet focus can be enough to prepare your mind. The more you practice, the more natural this response becomes. You're essentially teaching your mind that staying calm is your default, automatic reaction when faced with pressure. Lastly, mental rehearsal can also be a form of emotional inoculation. The more you mentally rehearse handling stress, the less intimidating chaotic situations become. Your brain begins to view these stressful events not as threats, but as opportunities to demonstrate the calmness and composure you've rehearsed. This reduces the fear response and helps you approach pressure with curiosity instead of anxiety. You start to see stressful situations as challenges to be solved, rather than overwhelming obstacles. The power of mental rehearsal lies in its ability to shift your mindset and prepare you to face the chaos with confidence and control. When chaos strikes, it's easy to view it as a negative force, a disruptive, uncontrollable storm that stands in the way of your goals. However, the most successful individuals don't see chaos as an obstacle. They see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. By adopting a mindset that views challenges as valuable lessons, you can turn even the most difficult situations into classrooms where you can develop new skills, gain deeper insights, and build resilience. This shift in perspective is essential for maintaining a calm and constructive mindset when things seem out of control. The first step in turning chaos into a classroom is to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? No matter how overwhelming the situation may seem, there is always something valuable to be gained. When you face a stressful or chaotic moment, pause and take a step back. Instead of reacting with frustration or helplessness, shift your focus to observation. What is this challenge teaching you about your strengths and weaknesses? Are there patterns or behaviors that need adjusting? By framing chaos as a lesson, you allow yourself to take control of the narrative rather than letting the situation dictate your emotional state. One of the biggest lessons that chaos can teach is adaptability. In chaotic environments, things are constantly changing, and the unexpected is often the norm. This can feel disorienting at first, but by embracing the uncertainty, you train yourself to be more flexible. You learn how to pivot quickly and respond to new challenges with confidence, rather than becoming bogged down by the inability to predict the outcome. Adapting to change is a skill that can be refined with practice, and every chaotic moment is an opportunity to build this skill. The more you learn to roll with the punches, the less you'll feel like you're at the mercy of external circumstances. Turning chaos into a classroom also means developing problem-solving skills. In times of crisis, it's easy to get stuck in the whirlwind of panic or frustration. However, the most successful individuals are able to pause and look at problems objectively, seeking solutions rather than focusing on the problem itself. By reframing chaos as a puzzle to be solved, you take the emotional charge out of the situation and allow yourself to think more strategically. This shift in mindset fosters creative thinking, as you are forced to come up with new and innovative ways to address the challenge at hand. Every chaotic situation becomes an exercise in sharpening your problem-solving abilities. Another lesson that chaos can teach is emotional regulation. Stressful situations often bring out intense emotions: fear, anger, frustration, anxiety. But if you can view these emotions as data points rather than obstacles, you can learn to manage them more effectively. In moments of chaos, ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What does this emotion tell me about my values, my boundaries, or my current state of mind? By exploring your emotions with curiosity, rather than judgment, you begin to understand yourself on a deeper level. You also become more equipped to regulate your emotions in future stressful situations, responding with clarity instead of being overwhelmed by your feelings. Additionally, chaos often brings with it a deeper understanding of your priorities and goals. When everything is up in the air, it forces you to evaluate what truly matters to you and what you want to focus your energy on. In the absence of structure, you may discover new perspectives on what's important in your life, whether it's relationships, personal growth, or your long-term vision. This clarity can provide a sense of purpose and direction, helping you stay grounded and calm even when things seem uncertain. Turning chaos into a classroom allows you to refine your priorities and take actions that align with your core values, rather than getting caught up in the noise. Lastly, chaos teaches you the importance of patience. In a world that moves quickly and demands immediate results, it's easy to become impatient when things don't go as planned. However, in chaotic moments, you often have no choice but to wait, adapt, and take things one step at a time. Embracing the lessons of patience allows you to develop greater emotional resilience and self-discipline. You learn that not everything has to be fixed right away, and sometimes the best course of action is to take a breath, step back, and trust the process. Through this, you grow more confident in your ability to navigate uncertainty and remain steady even when the world around you feels unstable. In the face of chaos, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or out of control. But remember, staying calm in chaos is not about avoiding challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about mastering the art of responding thoughtfully, keeping your mind grounded, and viewing each challenge as an opportunity for growth. When you control your awareness, focus on what you can influence, use your breath to anchor your mind, detach emotion from decision-making, mentally rehearse calm under pressure, and turn chaos into a classroom, you not only survive chaos, you thrive in it. As you continue to practice these techniques, you'll find that chaos becomes less of a disruptor and more of a tool for personal and professional growth. The more you cultivate these habits, the more resilient you'll become, and the better equipped you'll be to navigate whatever comes your way. Stay calm, stay focused, and remember that within every challenge lies the seed of a new lesson. The key is to trust yourself, trust your process, and embrace the journey with a sense of peace and purpose. Thank you.